The hourglass is leaking sand, but we still surfing Cowabunga. Reminisce, remember the time, reflected on life when I was younger. I used to get mine, do anything to get my numbers. Cause where I'm from, your pockets power and women love that Hummer. Niggas try to front and make me stunt, you know I'm chopping them up like lumber. You never see me coming, Stevie Wonder.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, folks. This is Judah J Talks. Haven't made a video in a while. To tell the honest truth, I've been going through some very difficult times in my life, due to my own sin, due to the things that I've been dealing with for about pretty much half my whole life. Pretty soon, I will feel like I can tell you guys what I've been going through. I'm sorry that I haven't been making videos because in these last days, there needs to be people that are giving inspiration from the Most High to the people in the world because of all that we're going through. I mean, it's really difficult these times. And you need people with voices that are going to inspire you by the word of the Most High. People that have gone through many different things in the world. And the Most High has allowed us to come through these things. And it's like it gives us a greater power to be able to inspire and to help people through the problems that they're dealing with. And I've gone through everything. I've gone through everything in my life because of just not being able to really cope, so to speak, with the things that are going on in my life. Being a target individual is something that is when you realize you are, and that the world is not what you thought it was. When you realize that there are actually people that are actually against you, and it's nothing that you maybe have done. Because I've learned in my life, check this out. I've sinned so much in my life, and I'm sustained because of God's hand. It's not because of anything that I've done. It's not because of any righteousness that comes from me. It's because of the Lord Yahusha has just blessed me to be able to be here in this earth. And I know I've always known that I'm supposed to be a person that ministers to people, that walks righteously in the world and serves him in spirit and truth. But I've always had a problem with doing it for any long period of time. And that's the reason why I have gaps in my videos, because I go through, I'm tormented by my sin, by the sin that I've had since I was a young man, always trying to overcome it. Always trying to overcome these sins that I've had in my life. These are types of sins that are they can just destroy your life. Let's just say that. And the Most High has sustained me. So when I look at my life, the sad thing about my life is that I don't really look back at my life and see that there's anything good that I've done, to tell you the honest truth. But the thing that God has blessed me to know is that He is the only one that's to be praised, because I've done nothing righteous, honestly. And if I've done anything righteous in my life, it's been because of Him. And then it's because of my sin and my unwillingness to turn to Him. I've always gone back to the evil way. It's not about hurting anybody else, as far as it's hurting myself, which in turn hurts other people, hurts your family, it hurts God. And He wants to use us, target individuals. He wants to use us to minister to the people in these last days. You see everything that's going on. Nothing in the world is right anymore. You know the Bible's true. You know that by everything, the wars and the whole vac and all that stuff that they try to force people to take, and how it's killing people now, and how you know that this world is not like it used to be. You know the whole world is in chaos. But I'm here to tell you, God is the one that's doing it. And that's the thing that I really had a hard time wrapping my mind around, how things can be so bad in this world for everybody, not just for target individuals, but for everyone. And you're like, why is the world like this now? Nothing seems right anymore. God is doing it because He's wrapping up the world. This is like the birth pains. Before He comes back and makes everything right, this is the storm before the calm. It's the storm before the calm. God is doing this. Everything that the enemy it seems like the enemy's doing, like, you guys don't know if that war in Ukraine and Russia, if they're on the same side. You don't know if they're just following a script. But even if they are following a script, God is the one that's allowing it to happen, and it's all for his ends. It doesn't matter how strong the enemy seems. What I've learned in my life as a target individual, or just forget target individual, just as a man, God is in control. That's what I've learned. I've gone through so much hell in my life and chaos because of my sin. Because here's the thing. If God wants to turn you around, he'll turn the whole world. If you're so stubborn where he can't reach you, where if he causes, he chastises you and things go wrong in your life and everything seems like it's just going down the drain. Do you know if that doesn't work because of his love for us and him wanting to turn us around to be on his side, you know what he'll do? He will turn the whole world against you. The whole world, folks, is turned against me because of my sin. And it's and this is here's how it is, right? Everywhere that I go, I know we're targeting individuals, we make these videos. Listen, I'm a real targeted individual, if that's what you want to call us, targeted individuals. I don't even want to call myself that anymore based off of what I've learned. But and I've learned the reason why I've learned that this whole targeted individual thing is so much more than that. It's so much more than we ever thought, because he's sustaining me through things that could have destroyed me so many times, and coming through it and seeing what this thing is really about. Let me tell you what it's really about. Let me tell you what this thing is really about. God, when I say God is in control, when you speak his name, Yahusha, when you cry out to Yahusha, listen, you say Yahusha, when you're going through your target individual experience, and you say, I bind you say Holy Ghost fire to every demonic spirit of witchcraft, sorcery, murder, death, whatever the spirit is, in your mind, know you're talking to a spirit. You're not talking to the person. Don't think you're talking to the person when you bind spirits in the person. Don't think that you're doing something wrong to the person. You're binding the spirit that's in them. We have authority to bind the spirits in these people that come from Satan's kingdom. We have power over these spirits that come from Satan's kingdom. The Most High's word says, I have given you power to tread down serpents and scorpions and over all the power, all the power of the enemy, and no harm shall come to you. Now, because you said that, you didn't say that out of your own mind. Those aren't your words. That's the words of the Almighty God that you are speaking, that you are putting out into the airwaves, right? It's touching spirit, it's touching bone and marrow. So when you speak his word and bind demonic spirits, you have bound them in heaven. Now it's up to you to have faith, to believe that the word that you spoke has the power over those spirits. So here's the thing. If you say you bind any demonic spirit, for instance, I bind the demonic spirit of witchcraft, you are actually basically talking to a person. Imagine you're talking to a person when you're binding a spirit. I'm trying to make it more relevant to you because it's God's word. He said it. And think about the when he cast out the demons from the legion, that man that had the legion of spirits, and he cast them into the pigs. Christ said, go into the pigs. We have that same power that he gave us. And it's all about faith to believe it. And it's not anything in our power. It's his word. So you say, I bind every demonic spirit of witchcraft. That is a spirit you're talking to. It has to obey. When you bind that demonic spirit, you say, I bind every demonic spirit of witchcraft, sorcery, whatever it is, murder, death, hate, in every temple, because the temples are the ones that are possessed by these spirits. That's the reason why a man, woman, or child on the earth that is operating in Satan's spirit is operating, walking in evil, seeking to do evil to you and me, not because of them. In the Bible, it says you don't fight against flesh and blood, but against every principality, spirits in high places. These spirits are controlling the temples of man now. That's why there are tares and wheat, because God's spirit's in the wheat, Satan's spirit's in the tare. Now we have authority over all evil, which means we have authority as being God's children over Satan's spirits, over him. So when we bind these demonic spirits, don't think you're not. He says the weaponry of our warfare is not carnal, it's for the pulling down of strongholds. You didn't say that. God Almighty said that. It's not your power. What I'm learning, targeting individuals, we have no power. Let me say that again. We have, as people on our own, no power. It's God, the Most High Yah, in His Son's name, Yahusha. Yahusha. Listen to me when I say this to you. Based off of my experience, you will cause chaos in Satan's kingdom when you say the word you say Yahusha's name. You say, I bind every demonic spirit of witchcraft, whatever the spirit is, in Yahusha Hamashiach's name, in every temple, man, woman, and child, in every witch or warlock, every demonic entity without a body that's ever been assigned to me or anyone you love, and I cast those evil spirits to the abyss. Now, in your mind, this is what you think about. You think about when Christ sent those spirits into the pigs and how just the power of his word sent the spirits into the pigs. And then right there, you have a mental image in your mind that you can reflect back on and draw back on as to saying, okay, his word is what led those pigs into those spirits into the pigs. We have the same power, I'm telling you folks, to bind these demonic spirits and to stop their power from doing anything, to stop them from hurting us, to stop them from doing any harm or any chaos or doing anything to us. We have that power. But see, here's the thing. When you operate in sin, you lessen your power. You take away the power that you have, that God has given you when you are operating in sin. Sin. That's the currency of the world, of this fallen world, is sin. The enemy and his people. Listen, there are people in this world that do not have the mind that you and me have. Now, I know there's people on this channel that do serve Satan. They come to listen to the words of that I'm speaking, or other people that say they serve God and they're seeking God and they're trying to help people. They hate us. And it's because of the spirit that's in them. Unless the Most High turns them around and delivers them, this is who they are. They don't have a mind where they're trying to help you, or they love you, or nothing. They hate you. We are living in a time where there are people in the world that operate in true hate. Their whole mindset, every agenda that they have, every thought that they have is to hurt you, to harm you, to seek to destroy you, to seek to take you away from the Most High Yah, take you away from salvation. They don't want you to have salvation. It's kind of hard to think about another man, woman, or child on this earth when you look at people in the world that actually hate you, that want to see your harm, that want to see you end, that want everything in your life to be chaos and destruction and just failure and pain. It's hard to think about people people that exist in this world that are actually like that. You have to, in these last days, transform your mind to the mindset that it needs to be. The mindset that it needs to be is you need to know who is around you. And you don't know who is around you if you don't have discernment. You must know. I'm just going to tell you, if you don't have discernment, there are two people on this earth, the wheat and the tare. Satan has a people on this earth. Let me tell you, they're hive mind. They operate together. When one person sees something, the other person sees something. Let me say that again. When one person, let's say if there's a person here that in the world that serves Satan, they're his people. Their thoughts are to do evil in the world, to deceive people, to manipulate people, to kill people, destroy people, right? That hive mind is all over the world now. You don't know who they are. In the Bible, it says that the wheat and the tare shall grow together. And then in the end days, which you know now are the end days, you guys, I mean, regardless of, you know, something's wrong in the world, you know, the world ain't right. I'm telling you, the Bible's true. These people that are in the world have grown amongst us. So when we look at a person, when you're walking down the street, or if you're at your job or wherever you're at, don't think everyone is like you. Don't think everyone is just struggling to make it through, or they seek to do good, but they just sometimes do wrong. There are some people in the world which are literally evil. Their minds, we can't even fathom it. They're evil. They're from Satan's seed. And the Bible says they're the tares. So you can't really fathom another human being that looks like you know, not look like you, but they're human, right? You can't fathom that this spirit would be in them. And that's the problem that the world is facing now. You cannot fathom that people would do absolute evil to you if given the opportunity. And these people do evil to us in secret. They do. See, listen, people with the hive mind, they, like I told you, they all think the same way. And when I say they think the same way, it's not like they have an ideology. One person has an ideology of how they should live their life, and another person has the same ideology. No, these people they have psychic abilities. They can read each other's minds. If one of them people with a hive mind, if they're thinking something, the other person with the hive mind knows what they're thinking. We're living in a sci-fi type movie right now. It's like they have powers, the lying wonder powers from Satan's kingdom. It's given to those that are the tares, that serve Satan, that are manipulating and lying and deceiving the people to make them think that they're just normal. Just people just walking around. They're not normal. They have psychic abilities. If you're thinking so, if you're listen, check this out. If you're walking in sin, you are their prime candidate. You are like food to them because the spirit in them, since you're walking in the spirit that they walk in, now they have a connection with you. Let me say that again. If you're walking in sin against God's word, against his commandments, let's say you're using drugs, let's say you're fornicating, let's say that you're whatever sin you're doing, you are now connected to these people with the hive mind. They know now what you think about doing, because if you're thinking about doing evil, the spirit in them is evil. So now they know what you're doing. Target individuals. I just told you, I gave you a nugget that you need to, this is what you need to know. Why are they always following me? Why do they always know what I'm doing? If you're honest with yourself, and this is true target individuals, I'm not talking about no liars on here, the ones that are trying to deceive us, forget them. Take them out of your mind. True target individuals, you're always wondering, how do they know where you're at all the time? How do they know what you're doing? How do they know how to make a noise when you're afraid or something about something, or you're feeling like indecisive or whatever about something? You don't feel, and then all of a sudden you hear some car drive by your house really loud, some loud noise from some loud engine. Somebody's looking at you strange or funny. The spirit that you walk in, if it's not of God, you are connected to the hive mind. The hive mind, you're connected to them when you're in sin. I don't care. Listen, if you don't care about sin, you don't think it's real, you don't think God's real, in these days, you will wake up. You will wake up, because what you're going through is because of a disconnect between you and God. I'm sick and tired of playing. I'm playing just this game. We're all playing a game and we don't know what's going on. Last days, two ways to go: Satan's way or God's way. If you're a target individual, I'm not going to call you no chosen one and no person that's 144,000, because only the Israelites can be 144,000. That's the Negro scattered to the four corners of the earth. Let's forget about that. If you are a target individual and you're a white man or an Asian man or whatever your nationality is, you're targeting for whatever reason. This is the thing I haven't figured out. Why were we able to see what was going on around us? All of the color coordination, all of the just the weird stuff we go through that we noticed about this whole quote unquote program. Why were we able to see that something was wrong? That's the thing I have not figured out yet. How are we able to figure out that something was wrong and nobody else? A lot of people haven't. That's the only thing when you say target individual, that's the only mystery to me. But as far as what we're going through, it's because of your sin. You're doing something that's going against God. You're not obeying him. You're not pleasing him, because his word says that when you please God, even your enemies shall be at peace with you. Let me tell you about my story, okay? I've had a problem with substance abuse. I'm just going to tell you right now because I need to get this out there. I've had a problem with substance abuse since I was in my 15 years old. I had a very rocky childhood when I grew up. When I was growing up, my childhood was not very good. And I turned to substance abuse because substances to kind of escape, like most people's stories. It took complete control over me, guys. It took complete control over me, where even if I wanted to quit, it was always there. But here's the thing: the Most High, I always have a connection with Him, very strong. My prayers are so strong, guys. Even though I've had my problem, great problem with sin. When I bind spirits, guys, and I cast them out to the abyss in Yahushua Mashiach's name, or if I say Holy Ghost fire to every demonic spirit of witchcraft, sorcery, whatever the spirit is, and I cast them out to the abyss, guess what happens in my surrounding? The ones that have that spirit in them, they start to, if they're driving a car and I sense them around me, they speed off. They speed off, and it's like they're just speeding 100 miles on. They go fast right in front of me. They have to get out of my way, right? People start to move. God has shown me the power of this power He's given us through His Word. When He says that there we have He says the weaponry of our warfare is not carnal; it's for the pulling down of strongholds. Now, I would not have believed that unless He told me, unless He showed me. It's not, when I say this, I'm not saying it to make you just to have some sort of like, oh, you believe it because it sounds good, or I've seen it. I've seen His Word, how it affects the enemy. He's used me to actually be able to speak His Word, even when I've been sinning. That's His mercy. I don't deserve that. I don't deserve His mercy. I've lived in opposition to my God for my whole life. And you know what? I've always been shameful and sorrowful for it, but I've always gone back to it because of the evil that's been in my heart, because He says there's no temptation that man has to come upon man that is not common to man. And He says if we have Him, with Christ, we can do all things. Because of my stubbornness, because of my just desire to be inebriated, to escape. First, it was just to be inebriated when I was younger. And then it got so bad where it's like what I lived for. I made it an idol. I put it before God, myself, my family, everything, my career, everything. That's why I haven't gone as far. And I've got a master's degree. Judah J, I have a master's degree. But do you understand? Do you understand all of the time in my life where I could have served God, where I could have been out there ministering to people, casting out demons, raising the dead, healing the sick? That's the man He's made me. I have that power. And it's not for me, it's Him. But He's chosen me to have that power. And because of this evil substance problem that I've had, which has caused many other problems in my life, it's been where, that's why I said at the beginning, I don't feel like I've done anything good in my life at all, because it's only been God's power. It's like if I achieve anything, it's not because I did it. It's not because, oh, I worked hard for something, or I really put all my I've worked hard for some things. Don't get me wrong. But the majority of my life, I haven't worked hard for anything because of my substance abuse, because my mind has always been elsewhere, because I've always been trying to escape the problems that I have in my life, escape the problems that are in the world, just seeing stuff going on in the world. It affects me. I'm very sensitive. Everything that goes on in the world, even though I don't let it bog me down, it affects me. It's in my spirit. It's like my emotions are tied to the things in the world that are going on. It's like you know how you feel that darkness in the world is how things aren't right and people aren't the same, and you feel like people are just just not, they're just off. It affects me for in some way that's so powerful. And it's like I didn't understand at first why it affected me like this. Even if somebody was having a problem, a pain, or having some sort of issue in their life, for some reason with me, it would stay on my mind. I couldn't get my mind off it. It's like these problems. It's just, anyways, I hear about people talking about empaths. I don't deal with none of that stuff. I'm not an empath. But it taught me, since I am so sensitive to the spirit. That's all it is. I'm very sensitive to the spirit, to where it can be an asset, or it can be complete. It can be a complete. It can destroy a person, because whenever emotion that I have, it's heightened by 20 million. All I can tell you is that I can't explain my emotions and why I feel as passionate and strongly about the things that are going on around me. People would say empath. A lot of you guys would say empaths are like that. I don't claim none of that stuff, because I think that's new age and I'm not about that. But what I'm saying is, if you don't keep that stuff, and if you can't give that to God, and if you're a person that is sensitive to the spirits around you, the things going on around you, it can be destructive to you. I chose to use substances because it was the stuff going on in my life. It was very at home, and just the problems that I had in my life, I didn't feel like I could deal with it when I was younger. And then as a grown man now, it's like now I'm trying to learn how to get rid of all those wrong notions and mindsets that I had, so that I can be able to live for God. And it's very, very, very difficult, because I know that God Most High has called me. He says that he shall not lose one. His Father has given him certain in this world, and he will not lose one. Now, when I look at my life, there's nothing in my life that I can honestly say, maybe there is, but that says that I'm worthy of anything. I totally feel like, based off of the evil way that I've lived, and just the way I've lived, and the way that I've used my flesh, abused my flesh. This is the temple of God, and I put things in my body that go against him completely, and it's caused me to have to deal with evil spirits that come in based off putting substances in your body for years. That's what happens when you put substances in your body for years. Now you have to deal with spirits that come in. Now, all I can tell you is, you can be bombarded by so many spirits where it seems like you're not even a person no more. I am basically I can't even describe my life, guys. I can't describe how it's so hard. It's so unique, and it's just so other, because of my sin. Because my sin has caused me to live like trash in the world, operate completely underneath the stature that the Most High has called for me to live by. But here's the thing: for some reason, I have hope. My God is with me. My God, I still believe, will deliver me from every evil way. He's put this in me. And what I want to tell you guys, target individuals, if you're a real one, don't deceive yourself any longer in these days. Stop trying to figure everything out like it's so many things to figure out. There's God and there's Satan. Satan's out to kill us. He has some people in the world that serve him, but he's deceived them. And when they die, they're going to realize the one they served, and he will be in the lake of fire, and they will be in the lake of fire forever. There's nothing cool about the lake of fire or being in hell. Hell and a lake of fire are forever. After hell, you go to lake of fire. Satan's going there. He is the one that is in the gang, the spirit that's in the gang stalkers. Now, when you say what kind of mind is in these gang stalkers, they have powers. Here's their powers. Each one of them in the world, it says in the Bible, as the wicked spring forth as the grass, it is that they shall be destroyed. The wicked have sprung forth like the grass. Can you count the grass? You can't understand what I'm saying right now. The grass, guys, so many strands of grass all over the world. That's the amount that's in the world that are deceiving normal people. When I say normal, I'm talking about people that actually truly love people. We all sin. Everybody makes mistakes, but those that are actually seeking God, when they do wrong, they want to do better. They cry out to God. They ask, "Forgive me for what I did that was wrong," and they try to make up and do better. There are people that don't do that in the world. They live to do evil. They get rewarded by Satan from doing evil. Now, because they're his children, his seed, they get rewarded from doing evil. They don't get rewarded for doing good. They get rewarded for doing evil. So don't you think that if you got these people in the world and they want to prosper, don't you think they would do evil to you? Why wouldn't they? Know who you're amongst. Know who you're around. There are people that get paid, and not just paid, they get their sustenance, they get their wealth, they get their joy, they get everything from serving Satan, seeing people, plotting against them, seeking to cause them to have pain or to lose things or to have relationships destroyed or just have problems. People are in the world. Most of the people that you see in the world, most of the people, listen, most of the people in the world are operating in the hive mind where they all know what one another are thinking. Each one of them are connected. They all have an agenda. They all know who God's people are those that that God is reaching, that's going to serve God. They know who they are. It's something in their mind which knows that knows who God's people are. And so if they know who God's people are and then they know who they are, if they know they're Satan's kids or his seed, they know that if they were to do good, which is not a part of their mindset anymore, but if they do good, they'll be punished by their God. Their God is Satan, so they won't receive their rewards because they're not of God. And here's the thing, guys, they know they're not of God. They hate God. They hate Christ. They hate the God of the Bible. There are people in the world that are out there that are like this. This is no joke anymore. This is no game anymore. I am here to tell you what the truth is. Here's the thing. You want to know something? Targeting individuals. Listen to this. You want to know what, because of my sin, you want to know what the enemy has, the weapons that they have now? If you're driving your car and you are in sin and there's a car in front of you that has a lot of smoke coming out of the back, don't think that smoke's exhaust. That smoke can kill you. It's something that causes you to have problems in your heart. It's something that causes you to to become lethargic. You feel it instantly. Listen to me. Listen to Judah J right now. If you are in sin, and if you have ever gone through this, then hey, you understand what I'm saying. The enemy doesn't operate with any kind of restraint unless the Most High Yah, unless Christ restrains them. There's this smoke that they have listen, oh my gosh. I don't even know how it happens like this, but I don't know how it happens. They're driving their cars, they'll get in front of you, and then this smoke will come out of their car, and you'll instantly know that there's something. If you have your air turned on where the vents open, they do it on purpose. Because you're operating in sin, they have a connection with you. They know what your mind's thinking. So if you open your window and in these last days, people are going through this without even knowing it. I'm just telling you because I've noticed it. The Most High made me to be able to notice this stuff, just like you guys notice things. We're targeting individuals, right? You know things that other people don't know for this time specific because He wanted you to know these things. Other people don't know about all these things, these videos we make about what they do to us. And a lot of people don't know about these things. We know. So I'm here to tell you a new thing that they're doing. And if they're doing this, what else are they doing in secret? Smoke coming out of the car. That smoke is not exhaust. They flood in the back in their exhaust pipes. It'll be like just smoke coming out of their car. That smoke is some sort of bioweapon. Satan and his kids are taking off their gloves. If you are not, you're protected by God. If you're serving God, he says, even your enemies shall be at peace with you. But if you're not, expect in these days, I'm telling you right now, so you'll know, expect in these days all kind of weaponry from the enemy to be hurled against you. Stuff that you would not even think about. Smoke coming from the car that can cause you physically to feel something going on in your body. Something you get lightheaded. Now you're starting to feel you even taste it. It tastes sweet. The taste is sweet. It's a sweet smell. And you feel it automatically in your body. Your breath starts to your air starts to get lower. You start to feel pains, or not pains, but maybe pains. You start feeling different in your heart. You start feeling just your body just don't feel right because of the smoke. And you know what they'll do? It's not just one person, because they're hive mind. They'll drive up real fast. They'll get in front of you. They'll slow down. Like, let's say you're driving. They'll get in front of you on purpose. They'll pump all that gas out of their car. And then if you have your ventilator open in your car without knowing what's going on, you're taking all of that smoke in, and you don't know what's going on. But there's a compartment in their car, in the cars of these people that are serving Satan, these tares. They're doing this stuff in secret. Why do you think they say there's people doing things in secret? Because they're doing it in secret. They have this compartment in their car. Like, I guess it's like two tailpipes or whatever, and one pipe is like normal, where it sends out the exhaust. The other pipe sends out this smoke, this bioweapon that can kill people. Listen, people are going through this without even knowing it. You're behind a car. You don't even know what's going on, but there's smoke coming out, and you may even have your window open. All of a sudden, that smoke's coming in and getting in your body. And what I'm telling you, it's a sweet smell. It's a sweet, you taste it. It stays with you. And check this out. Check this out. One person to get in front of you. If you're in traffic, they'll get in front of you, right? They'll slow their car down on purpose. And because you don't see in front of them, you may think a lot of people are in front of them. Like, a lot of cars are in front of them, slowing the traffic down. You know what I did? I actually, because behind this car, pumping this smoke out, feeling different in my body. And so then I'm like, I rolled my window up and I closed my exhaust, my vent. And I just so happened to move like to the side of the car to see what was in front of the car. There was nothing in front of the car. No other cars in front of this car. Purposely, this person was slowing down to try to get all that smoke in me, to try to get me to inhale all this bioweapon that these demonic entities that are in these bodies that was trying to spew. Listen, all I can tell you is the best thing that we can do is serve God. The best thing we can do is turn away from sin. And check this out. Here's the other thing. God will allow it to happen. If you are not pleasing him in these days, he's taking people out. He is going to judge you for your sin now. If you're not walking in opposition, if you're not walking righteously before him, if you're serving Satan still and still trying to do the things we used to do in the world and thinking God will just allow you to keep doing, now he's judging. Now he's stopped putting an end to it all. God is in control of even the enemy. He allows them to do these things. They're not doing these things without God's allowing them to do it. So when, like I told you, these people get in front of me and they're putting the smoke out and they're doing it on purpose, right? I realized God is my God. He's my power. He's a lover of my soul. Why would he do it? Why would he allow them to do it to me? Lest I'm in opposition to him. And if I was to be honest, I've been in opposition to my God. So he says, if you walk frowardly before me, I'm going to be froward with you, which means if you lie to him and keep playing around with him and doing the evil things that you want to do, and then you come to him and act like you're just, oh, I'm sorry. And then you go right back and do it again. You say, oh, I'm sorry. You go back and oh my God, it's a horrible thing to have an angry God against you. He's above Satan. He's above all of his fallen angels. He's above all of his people that, listen, there's a person above me right now. Whenever I pray, he knows, or she knows, whoever is above me, They make noises on their ground when I'm making headway with the Lord, when I'm really getting really connected and strong with the Lord in my prayer, and when I'm like in total faith and believing He's here, believing His word is working and His word is true and His word is. Whenever that happens, guess what happens above me? They're making all kind of noises, screeching around on the floor, making all kind of noise. When I have this power, when it comes over me from God, from the Most High, from Yahusha, when this power overtakes me. What I mean by that is when my faith is strong, unwavering, and when I'm praying and I'm binding spirits and I believe it's happening, and I believe that when I say Holy Ghost fire, that these demonic spirits are actually on fire in these temples. These people go crazy. These people lose their minds. It's not because of me. Who am I? I'm just flesh and blood. It's God's power that's doing it. Now listen, man. Listen. God's in control of even them. God will allow you to go through complete hell to get you right. God, think about Jonah. Jonah did not want to serve God. He wanted to do his own thing. He did not want to go and warn the Ninevites about God's judgment unless they repented. He had them get swallowed by a whale for 3 days. He had them on a boat, and the boat sank. And all the people were even in danger because this one man that was called by the Most High to serve him would not serve him. You will affect even the people around you when you don't serve God. People in your listen, you could be that one person in your family that God has called to serve him, and because you are not serving him, you could be causing turmoil and all kind of torment to your family because he wants you to serve him, but you won't serve him. I don't understand about how God does most things. That's even an understatement. But what I do know is that he has called certain people to to live for him. No one's the same. We're all, if you serve Christ, you're in the body. You're the body of Christ, and every member has a purpose. And so since we all have a certain purpose, who knows what these purposes, a lot of these purposes are, of course, they're different. They all have a different function. And so if he's endowed you in that body to do certain things and you won't do it, the whole body is affected. You understand what I'm saying? Think about that the next time your family's having all kind of problems and it seems like nothing ever gets right. Look at your life. Are you in error? Are you walking with Satan? Are you not obeying the Most High and doing what you know you're supposed to be doing for him? If you're living in sin, your whole family can be affected by it. And it's because of you. It's not because of anything they have even done, probably. Maybe they're not in sin at all. I mean, everybody sins, but you know what I'm saying. Habitual sin, and you keep going back to doing the same evil thing over and over again. And then it's like, your life is gone to hell because, not gone to hell, but, your life is hard. Your life is always rough because deep inside yourself, you're doing something wrong. You're not walking right. You're doing something that's not correct. But then you look at your family and you're like, why are they always having problems? Why are they broke? Why don't they have certain things? Or what's going on with them? Why are they always having problems? And you're like, they're good people. As far as good, only Christ is good. But you're like, they don't do the things that I know I do. They try to help people. They go to work every day. They try to do the best they can. They actually pray. They read the Bible. They do all these things. And then all of a sudden they're having all kind of problems. You're like, why is this happening? Look at your life. Look at you. You're connected to these people. You are in their family. You guys have a connection that's so strong. Your family connected by blood. Blood is very powerful. If one person in the family is walking in complete opposition to God, it will affect your whole family. So get yourself right so that your family can make it. Get yourself right so that your family can have peace and have joy and have that, just that, just have peace, have joy. This whole thing I'm learning is target individual, man. I used to think that of course we know things other people don't know. Okay, blah, blah, blah. It's sin. Don't think about target individuals stuff no more like that. The way we used to always think about it, oh, these people are doing things to us. They're doing this, they're doing that. We're showing videos of these these perps and all this stuff. Okay, we have been awakened to see what's going on in the spiritual realm, because only Satan's spirit that's in people would lead them to do these things to us. Okay, let's get beyond that now. Okay, there's these people in the world that are doing these things to us. Now let's say this: you're wrong in everything you do in your life. Let's say you just commit all kind of sin every single day, and you do. And now let's say this: there's a person that's out there, because let's just say, but my rationale is right. There's a person out there that's going to try to pay you back and be God over you, to make you pay for the evil things that you're doing. Because you're walking in that satanic spirit, they know what you're doing. You're always wondering, how do they know where I'm at? How do they know this? Because you're operating in Satan's spirit. They have Satan's spirit. It's a spiritual thing. You can't see a spirit. So that spirit that's in you is in them. So now you're connected to them. You're connected to the hive mind. You may not have their powers, because God, you know what? God did not allow you to be taken by Satan, but he allowed you and me to be able to have a connection, understanding of the spiritual realm, to cause us to turn away from our sin, to cause us to turn away from the evil way that we've been going. Now, I'm not saying we've been doing so many evil things beyond other people, but for whatever reason, which I told you I haven't figured out yet, why we know these things that are going on and other people don't know. That's the thing I don't understand. But as far as how they're able to do what they're doing, because of the spirit that's connecting us. Connection, spirit. We're all connected. You ever heard that? Everyone is connected. We're all human beings. We're not, well, maybe not all of us. Some people are mixture of Neanderthal and all that. Anyways, we're human. We're human, right? So which means God created each one of us, which means that as far as us coming into the world, God made that function happen. He brings lives and souls into the world. Now, there's some people that have Satan's seed, right? But as far as people that are born in the world, that's God's process. We're connected, right? We are connected as people. So if you have Satan's spirit, if you're operating in his spirit, even if you're not a quote unquote tear, that you're just openly, like in your mind, you wake up seeking to serve Satan. You do witchcraft and sorcery and do tarot cards, and you're a witch and you're a warlock and you're all set for that. If that's not you, if you operate in sin, you're connected to them. That's why they know everything that you're doing, what you're thinking about. So listen to this. Check this out. Elon Musk wants to make. Listen. It's so spiritual. Let me tell you, Elon Musk wants to make put a chip in people's brains so that everyone's connected. This is the new thing, right? And that is it's like everyone's gonna be hive mind is the goal. And him and other people that are these think tanks and these high astute thinkers and all, they think it's gonna be good for the world. They know it's not. They're guided by Satan, but it's all deception. But if they say, oh, if we have this chip in your brain, it'll make life easier for you. You'll be able to do things easier. You'll be able to connect with people. You won't have to use a device. You'll just be able to know what somebody's thinking. Listen, from what I've gone through, let me tell you what I've gone through. This is why I know it's spiritual, and I've been telling you guys this for years. This is the main reason right here. They can already do it without a chip in your brain, without any thing that they've implanted in your brain. It's spiritual. When it's the spirit that you operate in, that they can torment you that way. They'll know what you're thinking. They'll know what you're feeling in your body. They'll know if you're having doubts about God. They'll know if you're having pain in your body. If you dwell on these things, if you operate in these spirits, because God said he didn't give you a spirit of fear, but a power, love, and a sound mind. So if you're operating in a spirit that's not of power, love, and a sound mind or fear, now the spirit that's in these people that do the witchcraft and the sorcery and all the warlocks and all that do seances to Satan and all that, and they speak to him and they love him, right? They know what's going on in your mind because of the spirit that's connected you to. So that's the reason why they know what's going on with you. There's no other recourse. You don't even have to think about it anymore. It's not and with the whole, listen, The vax, that was just to connect. That was like a organic way to connect the people. I'm telling you that this has already been done through the spirit. And this is why I think true targeted individuals that say, oh, these people know what I'm thinking and they know where I'm at and all this stuff. I think sin is the main issue with true target individuals. I don't know why that we're once again chosen to know that what we know about what's going on around us and all the tactics of the enemy, and other people don't know. I don't know that yet, but I know for true target individuals, sin is the reason why we are going through the things that we're going through. Sin. Why, once again, why did he wake us up to know what the tactics of the enemy are? I don't know yet, but I do know for true target individuals, it's sin. When you go against the Most High God's word, the God of the Bible, when you go against his law, statutes, and commandments in these last days, in the last days, I'm not talking about 30, 40, 50 years ago. I'm talking about this time is special right now. This is the last days. So because God's wrapping everything up, he's going to do whatever is necessary to get his people into his kingdom. And if that means that he has to torment you or me in order for us to see what's really going on in the world, that there's God and there's Satan, and there's Satan that wants to take your soul away from God, and God wants to bring you into his kingdom. God loves us so much that he will torment you and me in order to get us to that place we need to be in him. He will cause the whole world to turn against you in these last days. Maybe not 15, 10, 5, even 5 years ago. Maybe not even then. 5 years. But maybe a long time ago, this was because these are the last days. He's taking out all the stops. He's allowing the enemy to do more. The power is not with Satan. The power is with God. He's allowing Satan to do more now, even to his own people, to get them back on track. So your life can seem like it's just in hell. Like everyone's against you. They're all plotting against you. You feel wrong around. You feel like just different around everyone because you know they're not of you. They know they're against you. You know they seek evil for you. You just know it now. It's because God is wrapping the world up, and only those that serve him will make it through. Only those people in this world now that serve God, that are truly turning to him, turn away from sin, turn away from the ways of the world, seeking him with everything they got, the only ones that will make it, the only ones that will avoid and escape the tactics of the enemy now, the only ones. Because now is the time. God is taking his gloves off. He's saying, if you're going to be for me, you're going to serve me. If you're not, I'm going to take you out. This goes for everyone in the world. This goes for everyone in the world. Everyone. Even listen. God is a terrible God. I'm learning it, guys. I mean, I've known it because my sin has been so strong, my addiction and stuff that I've gone through. It's been very strong. That's all I can say. It's beyond. I've done things because of my addiction to myself and the way that I presented myself in the world. It's just beyond. I don't even, you don't know me. You know me from these videos and everything. But I'm here to be honest. I mean, there's no reason. The truth should come out. And, of course, there's going to be some reservation to what how would I tell you? I'm not going to say that over the internet. But listen, sin can take you to a place when you've done it for so long. He says in the Bible that you can go through some other things. It says in the Bible, strange things can happen to you that are not common to man when you've been in sin for so long. My life is like a horror flick. And what I mean is, it's just, you think about a matrix where nothing's right. Everyone's against you. Everyone. And it's only, okay, when I sin, of course, it's heightened 1,000,000,000% where everyone looks at me. Everyone knows what I'm doing. Everyone is plotting to try to destroy me. And when I say destroy me, I'm talking about if I'm not binding spirits, if I'm not seeking the Most High, if I'm not just sincerely in my heart, in my mind, with everything in me, seeking him and crying out to him, I can't make it. That's why I know that I can do nothing without him. He's had mercy on me even in the height of my sin. which shows me his mercy endures forever. In the height of my sin, of my substance abuse, where I was just completely just gone, where it just seemed like I just was just, no control. It seemed like no control. Now, I'm not talking about hurting no one else, and it was hurting myself, putting things in my body which should not be there, causing my mind to just be completely just other, right? And I pray, but I still would pray, even in the midst of it. People in the spots that I would go to knew that I was just different. They knew that I knew that they knew what was going on. And I still couldn't stop because of the substance was so strong, because of the addiction. That spirit of addiction can be so strong. But you learn that you are what's in this world when you are you learn what's in the world when you put yourself in the position to learn it. And what I mean by that is when you are serving Satan and serving God, serving two masters, you can only serve one. When you're in the other one's camp, now I'm no better than nobody else, but I know God. I know the Most High Yah. He's my God. He died for me and rose on the third day. He is Yahusha is the Lord, right? I give all praise to him forever, regardless of my sin and the problems I've had. He is the power. He is our salvation. He is Lord. But when you're in the other camp, around everyone in that camp that's of Satan, they know, like I told you, that's connection with the spirit. They know you're not supposed to be there. They're just waiting for an opportunity to destroy you. If they get the green light, they will destroy you. They just wait since they wait for that voice. Since they have familiar spirits, they're all hive mind, they're all connected, they all know what's going on. Every one of those hive-minded people that are sold out to Satan in every form of life that have sold out to him, right, which is the majority of the world. You don't see it. Majority of the world, hive-minded, serve Satan. They're against you. They know who the people are that serve God, that has God in their heart, that God is working with. They know you. So now what I'm saying is these people right now are hiding. They're not. See, when I'm in heavy sin, my whole world's a matrix. Everyone's looking at me. Everyone's against me. Everyone knows what I'm doing. It's like a nightmare. It's like I can't even think anything. Like let's check this out. I'm driving my car, and let's say I'm in sin. You've been using the substances, right? If I look a certain way, they know and they honk, or they'll turn their lights on, or they'll speed off. It's like they know what I'm doing in my mind. If I feel uncomfortable, they know what I'm doing in my mind. So I just sit there and stare without trying to look anywhere. Just stare, just trying to concentrate on not looking at anybody, not looking at any cars, not looking at anything. Just concentrate, just keep my mind straight ahead, right? My eyes straight, because I know they know. And they want you to have fear. What they want you to do is to completely be engulfed by fear of everything around you, right? That's against you. So if they're against you, if you're in sin, and see, like I told you, targeted individuals are people that know things that other people don't know about what's going on around them. For some reason, the Most High God has blessed me to know at an even heightened level because of my sin. My targeting has been so bad. If I think a certain thing, it's like the fish in the bowl. I can't explain it to you guys. I don't even feel comfortable when I'm in my heightened sin of looking anywhere but straight ahead. I can't look at anybody's face. I can't look at anybody's eyes. I can't look anywhere because I know they'll know. And then if I acknowledge them, then it's like it's just beyond. It's like I've acknowledged the people that are out to destroy me. And if I acknowledge them, that fear will come in. If you acknowledge them, and if you listen, if you feel like everyone is against, if you know that everyone is against you, you're driving your car and you're in sin. Let's say you're doing substances, whatever you're doing, and God allowed you to see what's around you, right? Even if it's not substances, if it's something else, but you're a target individual, so you have a heightened sense of what's going on in the spiritual realm. Let's say you were to look at these people and they're all smirking at you or laughing or throwing signs at you whenever you go. If you were to keep dwelling on that, they know that after a while, that will cloud your mind. It'll put fear in you. And when fear comes in, now they have power over you. See, that's why God said he didn't give us a spirit of fear, but a power, love, and a sound mind. Satan wants to put fear in us. So when that fear is heightened, now you can have possession. When that fear is heightened in a temple, fear that comes from Satan's kingdom, now they can possess you. Now the demonic spirits can come into you and control you because you are operating in spirit of fear, which is one of the most horrible spirits there is. So you have to make sure. That's why he says, think about those things which are beautiful. Think about those things which are holy and righteous, because he wants to put us in a mindset that will keep this this framework of victory and joy and peace in us. He wants his spirit to permeate through our minds. He does. If he knows that if we're thinking about fear and hate and being destroyed and chaos, then Satan can come in without you even knowing it and possess you. One of his spirits will possess you in the last days, which is now. The spirits are trying to possess people. Let me say that again. That's the whole ball game. People all around, like I said, the wheat and the tares, and how there's the as the wicked spring forth as the grass, they'll be destroyed. The reason why the wicked has sprung forth as the grass is because they had no connection with Christ. And these are the last days. It's not like 20 years ago or 10 years ago. This is the time. You don't read the Bible? The Gentiles now, their time is up. Now it's judgment time. These are the birth pains. These is the beginning times of sorrow in the world where God's about to destroy this whole age. So those that don't serve him, he says he shall bring what is that? Judgment back to righteousness, which means that if you're walking in opposition to God, you will be judged now. Before, you can live as evil as you want. You remember when we were younger, live as evil as you want, have as much sex as you want, do as many drugs as you want. And it seemed like everything was okay. It seemed like everything just kind of worked out and you didn't really have any problems. Everything was fine. You had a whole bunch of friends, you had girlfriends, everything was okay. But now try living like that. You can't live like that no more. You'll be judged right away or destroyed. What I'm telling you now is, with the way you see the world, the wars and all the earthquakes and all this stuff, listen, don't look at that. As this stuff is going on, later on will be God's kingdom. He's going to make it so only those that exist serve him. If you don't serve him, you will be destroyed. Even in his kingdom, when Christ comes back, there are going to be people on the earth still that don't love him, that don't serve him, right? Not the Israelites, but there's going to be people in the world that are not going to serve him. He's going to destroy them. He's going to rule by an iron fist, which means that if you do not serve him, he'll destroy you for not walking righteously before him. So now we're just in the beginning of that. This is now the time that God is now changing the whole game. You can't live for Satan now. If you knew who was talking to you, you would say, oh, you're a hypocrite. All I know is that today is the day the Lord has made, and I've made a decision to serve the Most High Yah and seek him in spirit and truth. And I pray that I make it. That's all I can say, because he's the one who is the issuer of life and death. He is the one that has the power over every principality and every power. If he's the one that has to draw us to him, but we have a responsibility to seek him and to turn away from our sins. He says, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all things shall be added into us. But we have to do that. We have to seek him. I pray that he'll help me to seek him on a day-to-day basis. But all I'm saying is this to you guys. All I'm saying is this. This time is not like the times that we're used to. Everything, if I wish I could say it the right way, everything is different now. Everything is different now. If you're not serving God, get ready for chaos. Get ready to see and experience some amazingly horrible things in your life that you never thought or imagined, because God is doing it. God is he's not doing everything. He's allowing it to happen. He's allowing the enemy now to start to carry out some of his wishes that he desires for us. Because the enemy, he's the Satan, he seeks to kill, steal, and destroy. The reason why it wasn't rampant and everything wasn't as bad as before is because those weren't the last days. These are the last days. That's why you see everything on the news happening every single day that they show us. Every single day, there's something new, crazy, beyond anything we ever imagined. And it's only going to get worse and worse and worse. And trust me, but in the end, those that serve Christ will make it into his kingdom. Either if you make it and you live on the earth, he comes back before we perish, before the end of life, or you'll be in his kingdom. But I'm telling you, if we do not turn and truly start to seek him and to turn away from sin, you can't make it in these days. Trust some people that talk to you. Some people that talk to you been through so much hell in their life, they know things. And that's why the enemy wants to take people out, because he knows certain people God has sustained that gone through things that are beyond. I've gone through things that are beyond, that make no rhyme or there's no sense, there's no rationale for it. I can't even express the things I've gone through. And I'm not trying to have no feather in my hat. I'm not trying to, I give all glory to God. I have nothing before him, nothing. And I consider others better than me because he told me to do that. It's been me. But I'm telling you this. Certain people have gone through some things, some horrible, evil things in this world. People have gone through some horrible because of their sin, and maybe not even because of their sin, but people have gone through things, and they can give you advice. They can give you direction. They can help you to see this world the way it should be seen, and then help navigate you to safety because of what they've gone through. That's the reason why people go through things, and God don't destroy them or have some, or cause them to perish, because there's certain people that he purposed to make not go through. I mean, God didn't cause people to use substances and do all that stuff, but he knew before time that these people would do these things. Or if you do other evil sins or whatever the sin is, he knew. God knew who you and me was going to be before we were even alive. So if he knew what we would go through, and all I'm saying is this: if he sustains you, if he sustains me, there's a reason for you. There's a huge purpose for you, not to get the big head and say, oh, look at me. God sustained me. He loves me so much more than anybody else. That's foolish and stupid. But when you think about it, there's a reason for it. So what I'm doing now is I'm realizing there's a reason for God's mercy for me, which is bringing me closer to him, which I pray will turn me away from every evil work, because he says I shall deliver you from every evil way and bring you safely into my heavenly kingdom. Y'all, that's my hope. That's my joy. That's what I think about this day. And that's what I pray that I will be thinking about every day that he allows me to live. That deliverance from every evil way. He's God. We've been deceived. We've been tricked by Satan in this world. The things that we seek, the things that we desire, these evil worldly ways, it's nothing. This nothing. I saw Mike Tyson one time on a video, and this guy came to his house, and he had all of his championship belts. And the guy was showing Mike Tyson his championship belts. He was like, remember when you won this? Remember when you won this one? Remember this one? And Mike picked up one of the belts. He says, this is garbage. It's nothing. It means nothing. And he says at the time it meant everything because I was the champ. But now he had his replica belt. It was the belts that he won. Then the champions get to keep their belts. He looked at it and said, it's nothing. He threw it on. He threw the world championship boxing belt, gold, all that. It's nothing. Threw it on the table like it was nothing. These worldly things that we seek, that we desire, is nothing. Christ is everything. Christ, the relationship, denying your flesh on a day-to-day basis, doing it daily, going through the hard times of being tempted by sin and the sins you want to do and overcoming it and giving it to Christ, and every day just getting stronger and stronger and having a good conscience, knowing you're doing everything you can to serve Christ and to make it into his kingdom, knowing that you're in right standing with the Most High God. That is what's important. That's everything. That's everything. Now I can say this and go back and mess up and be a hypocrite and mess up, right? I'm saying this because it's the right thing for me to say. Because God created me to be a light in this world. And I pray, Father, in your holy name, you'll allow me to be that light. And I pray that he'll allow you to be that light. Because this world is dark. And there needs to be Christ's light in this world. And it's going to be in this world regardless of what's going on now anyway. All this is leading to Satan being destroyed. He knows it. He's deceiving everyone because he hates even the ones that serve him. He hates the ones that have his hive mind, that do evil and secrets to people. He hates them. Satan hates them, but he's deceiving them. He's giving them gifts. He's giving them all kind of rewards and all these things for serving him. But he knows that with every day that they live, every moment that goes on and they're serving him, they're that much closer to their destruction and from them being also in the lake of fire with him. He hates God's creation because God's creation was made, we were made after the image of God. And the fallen angels, they're beneath. They're a little, we're right now, man is a little bit beneath the angels, the holy angels. But when those that make it in the Christ kingdom, we shall judge angels. We shall be above the angels. And Satan did not want that. And so he hates God's creation. He hates us with a hate that's not, there's no level to the way he hates us. And the people that serve him, right, there's a lot of people that serve him in secret because they don't want people to know they serve Satan. But those that serve him, they think that he loves them because he gives them things. They have success. They're at the top of their fields. They have enough finances. They have the relationships they want because Satan gives them these relationships. Check this out. Listen to this. Satan can make a person act the way these people want them to act. If there's a man that wants a woman and he serves Satan, he can have the finest woman in the world, the freakiest, nastiest woman that checks off all the boxes physically, that does all of the nasty things that they want them to do. He can have anything he wants, and Satan gives him that person, but that person is not of God. Some people call them honey traps, right? But Satan will give that person to keep that person's mind, to trick that person's mind. So now that person thinks, oh, I got this beautiful woman, or this woman says, I got this beautiful man, and he fulfills all my sexual needs and all my other needs, nicest person in the world to me, and gives me everything I want. But this person was put there by Satan because they're secretly just seeking to destroy you. And you don't know it because you don't have discernment. Satan gives gifts too. He gives relationships. He gives money. He gives bliss. He can cause you that bliss in your body, where you feel joy and euphoria that's beyond anything that can be imagined. Satan can offer that to people. Anything you want in this world, he can give it to you, right? But then in the end, it's destruction. It's fool's gold. It's what is that? It's instant gratification. And at the end of it is the lake of fire. It's being apart from God forever, the one that truly loved you. And you realize at the end, when judgment comes and then you meet God, you see the glory of God, which is above everything, greater than Satan and all the angels, even the greatest power in existence, the Most High God, the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, in Yahusha. When you see him, everyone will be like, why did I do what I did? Why did I serve? Why did I walk evil before you? Before you. You are, oh my God, you're so beautiful. You're so holy. You're so holy. Why did I walk this way before you? And it'll be too late. Then it'll be too late. And Satan will just be joyous because he took another one down. That's the one that we all serve when we're not serving God. I can confess it. Who am I? Who am I? I've been walking more wickedly than anyone in the world. Just like Paul would say. He says, if there's been anyone that's done anything wrong, I put me first. That paraphrasing. I mean, I haven't done everything in the world. But what I'm saying is, if it's sin to you, it's sin. Now, of course, the things I've been doing is complete sin, right? I mean, you can't be putting substances in your body and then the spirits that come in based off of what you've done there. But what I'm saying is this. Listen, I'm about to end this video. All I can tell you is target individuals, the true ones, is the sin. Don't stop tripping about what they're doing, because they're going to keep doing it. Even when I don't sin, even when I haven't sinned, let's say I'm having a great day, right? And I'm out amongst the people. Let's just say this. They're still looking at me. Maybe not as intensely. They're right now. And what I think it is when that spirit is in you and you're really operating in it, really tough or whatever, those spirits in them are heightened. So now they can see you clearer. It's like they can see your sin, and now they have more of a authority to come after you because you're sinning. The wicked ones out there, the tares, when you're in sin, their power is strengthened. So now you'll start noticing even more things that are going on that aren't right. They'll be able to have more power to affect you and to harm you and to do things and to shape and create your reality when you are in sin. That's the thing. You have to stay away from sin. Now, when you do stay away from sin, because we're in the last days, and for whatever reason, like I told you before, I don't know why it is that God chose certain of us to know these things that we know and we've been knowing for years about this whole targeted individual thing. There's people going through this stuff in their lives that don't know that they're going through it. That's what makes us so unique. We know these little things that we talk about that they do to us, all these videos all these tactics and all this stuff, and we know. A lot of people don't know. That's what separates us. Now, I don't know why that is, but I'm telling you this right now. Stay away from sin. Listen, turn away from sin, repent, turn away from sin. I'll just say that all day. Me too. Turn away from sin. Then, when you have gotten to a place where you know every day you're doing the best you can to serve the Most High, you're doing everything you can in your mind. You're like, did I do good today? Did I serve the best I could today? And you look back and you're like, yeah, I did do good. I did do better than I did before. Things are still going to happen to you, because he says this is the time of tribulation. Saints shall have tribulation. Those that serve God in these days will have tribulation. But the thing is, it won't be like it is now. You'll have God right there fighting your enemies for you. He even fights our enemies for us when we're not serving him. That just shows you it's not about us. It's not about who we are or what we bring to the table. His majesty, his love, his mercy. I'm learning regardless of how slow it is. And I'm older now, and it takes people sometimes a long time to learn about God in this way. It's him. He is. And when we meet him, it's just I believe it's just gonna be beyond. He's so holy, he's so righteous. He is everything. And I'm learning it because I ain't done nothing to deserve his mercy. I ain't done nothing to deserve his grace, his mercy. It's him. It's because he loves us. He loves us and he wants us to make it, to be with him. He doesn't want us to perish. And if you're not thinking about that in your own life right now, right? A lot of target individuals don't have no connection to Christ. A lot of them hate him. A lot of them are against him because maybe something happened in your family. You got let down by God or something. You felt like you were let down by God, and it was you weren't like God didn't let you down, but you just didn't see it right or whatever. Your family didn't teach you about it. A lot of people don't serve him as far as the target individual community. But what I'm telling you right now is, if you don't cry out to him and try to get that relationship right, you're not gonna make it. I'm telling you right now, you are going to perish. You're going to perish in a lake of fire, and you're going to burn forever. That's what you're going to do. That's what I'm going to do if we don't turn to Christ. If we don't listen, it's not about nothing else now. War can happen. Listen, these people are crazy. Look, this war is coming to America. This whole Ukraine thing and how other countries are getting involved, and Poland, and then all these other. Listen, the war is about to come to America for judgment on America. Don't you understand? They got the children of Israel over here, and they've been doing evil to us, for the Negro scattered to the four corners of the earth. If you don't know we're the children of Israel by now, I'm sorry. We're the children of Israel, and we are scattered to the four corners of the earth. And in America, right? This is like Babylon. This is true. This is true Babylon. They have us in their possession. They won't let us go. They treat us like trash. They hurt us. They do all kind of injustices against us. We're God's people, like his chosen. And Now we're coming back to the knowledge of who we are. The 400-year captivity is over. That ended in 2019. What happened until after 2019? Everything fell apart after 2019. There was a semblance of normalcy and just things in the world just being kind of the way it always has been up to 2019. There's always been bad years. There's always been things that have happened every year in the world that we've been alive, and since our people been alive, it has been bad things that have happened in the world. You're like, oh, that's just something that's just life. Not now. You go back and think about 2019 and think about everything that's happened since 2019. That's when the 400 years of the children of Israel being scattered to the four corners of the earth. That's our bondage. It says we will be in bondage for 400 years, and then he would release us, and then he would bring his judgment on the Gentiles that did the evil to us. He's repaying the world for what they did to us. I'm not going to go into that, because a lot of people are like, who you think you are? It's the truth. That's why the world's falling apart, and it's only going to get worse. But there's joy in the morning. Hey, blessings to you guys. Sorry for not making a video for so long, but like I told you before, just being honest, I've been dealing with some horrible things, just horrible. But all praise to the Most High Yah, I'm here. I bless you in his name. I pray everyone seeks him, turns to him, cries out to him, gets away from sin. Because listen, that's all I need to be telling you now. Turn away from sin. Seek Christ. He's the one. He truly is real. He is the one. If you haven't had a relationship with him, if you haven't experienced him in this way that I'm trying to tell you that he's real, just keep crying out to him. Ask him to come into your heart. Ask him to save you. Ask him to put his spirit in you. Ask him to give you his wisdom. Ask him to help to keep you. Ask him. Just keep asking. He's the one. No. Listen, he really is the one. I've learned it. It's not no crutch. A lot of you guys would like to say, oh, he's a crutch. You're using him as a crutch. You really don't have any true experience that you can identifiable experience that will actually be able to prove that he's real. No, he's real, guys. Some people have these experiences with him. He's real. And check this out. If you know Satan's real, don't you know God's real? Check this out. Listen. Being in drug areas, right? You run across some pretty interesting things, right? Like feeling a spirit next to you when you move, and feeling an entity that's not there, that you can't see, and feeling it like it's there. I've gone through that before. Have you? Imagine touching a person that's right in front of you, right? And you see that person, you touch them, and you feel their body. Now imagine putting your foot out and feeling another presence there, a body there. That's no one there at all. That was a spirit, a demonic spirit. Imagine what that does to a person's mind, knowing that that's around you, knowing that that's impossible to happen, because we're humans, right? So even if I'm not in sin, imagine me having that knowledge in my mind of knowing that is in our existence, that you could put your hand out and touch something that's not there, and it feels like it's just right there, like nothing. Put your hand out right now into the air, and just put it out. Now imagine feeling something and you don't see nothing. Yeah, I've gone through that. Why? Because the Most High wanted me to know, and I figured it out, that his holy angels, if those demonic entities are there, and I say demonic spirits, right? Fallen angels, whatever, if they're there, God's holy angels are there. If God's holy angels are more powerful, which they are, than Satan's spirits, than Satan's fallen angels, who do we have on our side? Think about it. He wanted me to know what was really around me. That's why he allowed me to go through that experience, to put my foot out, and to feel a spirit right there. Feel it like it was another person, right? And when I did it, guess what I did? You ever remember the Family Guy where Stewie backs out of the room really slow? When I felt that, there was no words that I could even put together. No, my emotions were I couldn't describe to you how I felt in that moment. That was the most terrifying. But you know what? Even though I can say it was terrifying, God got me through it. God allowed me to have that memory and to have that knowledge of that moment and not go crazy, because that could drive someone insane. The Most High has allowed me to see spirits come out the wall, right? Right? Because of my sin, I believe, but also to show me once again his power, because only him could have kept me from being possessed or taken over by that evil spirit. Imagine seeing something come out your wall. Can you listen? You don't know what certain people have gone through. And when I say that, it's not no feather in my hat. I am nothing once again. You think how I'm flesh and blood. How can I deal with something like that? And day to day, go on about my life. This was like 5, 6, 7 years ago. Go on about my life and not be tormented by that. Who do you think's doing that for me? You think it's me? Like my brain is just, it's come on. My brain is by myself is able to sustain, to keep calm and have that memory in my mind. Imagine you see something come out your wall. It could happen 20 years ago. You have that memory of that thing happen and it's not natural. Imagine dealing with that and not going crazy, not dwelling on it, knowing that happened. But now God allowed me to see the purpose for it happening, which gave me peace, to know he's there, to know he has all power, to know that this thing that happened is beyond me. So if he's not with me, how can I overcome? How can I do anything? How can I do anything? Certain people have gone through these things even beyond what I've gone through. I'm just one, but I've gone through, and you know what? Most of the people that are on my channel know I've gone through, because most of you are high-minded. Don't think people, and I'm not saying everybody. If you're not, don't chew the meat, spit out the bones. But you know how these channels are. You know how these targeted invisible channels are. Most of the people that come on the channel are Satan's people, just listening to you to see if they can get an advantage on you, see where you're at in your life, and see how they can create bad things in your life, and listen to you and maybe laugh and look at this dude, we're trying to do something else to him. Listen, don't you know we know that? But what I'm saying to you is this: most of the people on these channels are high-minded, serve Satan. Listen, it's not even about them anymore. It's about connecting yourself with Christ and doing everything you can to sustain that relationship in the best way you can in these days. Best thing I can tell you. Anyways, y'all, I will be making more videos, y'all willing. I love you. Thank you for everybody that blessed me with finances on the Cash App. If you would like to, once again, to donate to the channel, that would be a blessing. And so let me see this thing. And I just told you guys I had a problem with substances, and I'm asking you guys to, if you want to donate to the channel. But anyways, no, it's something that would go towards the channel. It will go towards helping me, and that'll be a blessing. So if that's something that's on your heart to do, let me put this up here right now. You can go to $ Judy J Talks 144. Super chat is available. Push the thumbs up, push the bell notification, and always most definitely subscribe. Once again, Cash App, $ Judy J Talks 144. Super chat available. Push the thumbs up and push bell notification. So I'm gonna try to make some more videos in a sooner time frame, because I know, I should at least tell you guys when I'm making these big hiatuses, at least for those that, care about the channel, that come to the channel, watch the videos and get something from it. I should at least tell you about when I'm making these hiatuses. So I'm sorry for being selfish and just kind of not doing the right thing in that way. But blessings to you guys. And I hope everybody will, just hold on to God in these last days, and don't get tripped out by the things going on in the world, because more will happen. This is just the beginning. There'll be other things, but just stay close to God. All right, you guys, blessings to you, and I will see you, y'all willing, very soon. Let me put on my exit video. Hold on 1 second. 1 second, guys. This channel is kind of strange in the way I do things sometimes. So let me blah 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 blah. Where is it? 1 second. Oh, here it is. Blessings. You can feel my love. You can feel my electromagnetic essence with a twist of Freud. Boys, the big boys, the expensive suits, the agendas, the crush the real truth. Undergo the misplaced perceptions, red from this dead spun like threads. Against kids in the Gen X meds, fight for the mental, lead voices, relax and slow down and make foul the brainwaves of Zion. Only dying but Orion got the deity thoughts, the new age hopes, blotted and wrapped. Token and hijack message that led you to get casted and locked trapped in a pack of cognizant dissonant traps. But we pack strength in backpacks with holes till the foe can't go up the road and get stuck in the stagnant motion. No emotion, lost in the sauce and trying to pay no cost to rise above the flaws. Just a sad story paid for and sold like the oldest trick you could ever know. Figure it, but still the drip of bad dreams and frequencies and misdirected by deities, dispelled, changed without an ounce of love. The blood of sacrifice is the price he paid to protect us from the well-thought out rage that's pain to trap us in the maze. But you ain't getting fazed by that, is you? You ain't getting fazed by that, is ya?
You can't feel my love. You